Hey, superfans! What do you get when Britney Spears, President Obama, peanut butter jelly time, and a lazy good-for-nothing writer all go into a bar? Well, just keep watching.
Hey guys, you ever want to amuse somebody, either in writing or in person, but you kind of fancy taking a shortcut to the punchline? Well then, may I suggest that you pay close attention to the following timeless review on the merits and the mistakes of topical humor. Yes, topical humor. Late-night talk show hosts, fake news shows, and a great many stand-up comedians could not survive without it. Why, TheOnion.com would certainly have a lot less content, and Saturday Night Live would not have had its best season in 11 years last year during the big ol' American election. Instead of Tina Fey's award-winning impersonation of Sarah Palin, they would have had to go with one of their many great one-joke ponies, like Irrational Person, or The Man Who Wanted a Sandwich, but by the time he made it, he realized he actually wanted yogurt. Of course, the main attraction of using topical humor is that it allows you to leverage bonus laughs through recognition. The classic example would be Michael Jackson and all the pedophile jokes made about him over the years. He is an easy go-to because everybody knows who Michael Jackson is, or was, I guess now, and everybody knew what he had done or allegedly done to earn such remarks. I know my own Michael Jackson jokes always went over a lot better at parties than the ones I'd make about the far less recognizable local children's piano teacher, Tickling the Ivories. But of course, the flip side of this humor is that while time plus tragedy might equal funny, time plus topicality usually equals the exact opposite. For example, you're going to get a lot less mileage out of stupid jokes about Dan Quayle than you would about George Bush Jr., and you're going to get a lot less mileage out of that than similar jokes about Sarah Palin. I would suggest that any of you who have them leave their Cato the Elder jokes on the shelf. See, now I know that a higher percentage of history students got that joke than non-history students. This brings up the tricky job of just how topical you want to make your joke. Make it too obscure, not that many people are going to get it. Make it too broad or familiar, and that familiarity can breed contempt. This brings me up to a problem I like to call topical humor mad libs. You don't have to be a professional comedy writer to notice that humor has certain patterns and forms. Unfortunately, it can be very difficult not to notice that topical humor plays, as I say, a kind of mad libs. Now, I realize that you can break almost anything down to a simple formula and say that it's crappier for that, but it strikes me that it's noticeably easier to do that with topical humor than with, say, the works of Shakespeare. Anyways, in the final analysis, I think I have a pretty decent approach for how to use topical humor. Aim for the middle ground. Try and do something timeless while not rooting it in a whole bunch of highly specific references that will become dated almost immediately. Instead, you should try and ground your topical humor amongst more timeless jokes and themes, things that will be with the human race pretty much till the end of time. For example, Dr. Strangelove, right? That was poking fun at the Cold War, but underneath that topical layer, it was looking at things like paranoia, mindless loyalty, and how German accents are always really funny. Oh.
There's also topical creme, which I think we'll be covering next week. Man, do you know what's fun to say? Creme. Yes. Creme. Creme. Creme.
They would have had to rely on one of their great one-joke ponies, like Irrational Person, or The Man Who Wanted a Sandwich but